So, yeah, a thought occurred to me that the reason why I think we don't have all the things that we thought that we'd have, from like, flying cars and stuff from Back to the Future and whatnot. Um, yeah, I smoke. I did, however, order the fume, um, little air pressure. What is it? Flavored air thing. Yeah, it's coming in the mail, so I'm gonna try and implement that and with nicotine patches and see if that does any good. But yeah, the reason why we don't have like flying cars and all these things that we thought were great, would have been great, is because we got caught up in all the little trinkets, you know, of things that would help maintain uh, our mental health in the present, but we didn't think about the future necessarily. And I mean, you think about it too, and if uh, if the government really wanted us to like improve the world and society, it would it would offer us options like a plan. Hey, if you guys work as a group together and cut back on your spending and so on, then in 5 years or 10 years we would give you the flying cars and whatnot. But we have to see some results as well, and like they could take all this um bad stuff that's happening, all this incrementally bad mal investing and all these really dupey uh, things that they do, and they could turn it around to being worthwhile pursuits. But of course they don't want to do that. They would rather us, get progressively worse. So, and it all goes back really to, um, having a government in the first place. Government is safety and security, but then you get you get women involved in it. Now, I'm not saying even their votes per se, but you just have them mixing in with politics, and mm, I don't know. That aside, though, yeah, the government could incentivize us as citizens to get better, by, you know, well, we call them Big Daddy government. Big Daddy ain't looking out for anyone but Big Daddy and his interests. So that's why we have to take it upon ourselves to do the things necessary to, you know, uh, get ourselves in the future that we want to be in, and so that's why I like doing stuff like what I'm doing here, you know, building a house, that's why that is useful, because it promotes future growth. And even if you're at the ripe age of 45, there's still possibility that things can improve. Even if you're toothless, well, at least the top part. Yeah. Yeah, and I was looking to go into Japan, so I got a passport because I want to cycle Japan. And along the way, I noticed that Japan is coming out with a quote unquote medicine that will regrow adult teeth. And apparently, it's going to be out in 2030. You know, who knows where we as a world will be by that time, but I think it's kind of cool that that's a possibility. Because I had a dream in 2008, and I had lost my teeth in the dream, but then new teeth, new adult teeth grew back, and I thought, what a crazy dream. I was only 28 years old, but sure enough, like if you really analyze your life, you might just be able to connect the dots to see, you know, that your existence here has already been planned out before you even made the choices that you made. It's like, it's weird. It's interesting. I have many stories of that. And I think that goes along with the gut feelings too. In in 2010, I was in the military and my dad passed away, so I had to come back home, or I wanted to come back home, to attend his funeral. And you know, then I had a 14-hour trip back to where I was stationed at. And, I was carrying a bunch of stuff in from my car into my apartment, and I laid down because I was exhausted. And I had this feeling like you forgot to lock your car. And I should have, listened to that. Because the next morning I go out to my car to get a water and my car's not there. Now, granted, yeah, I had a key. Okay, so it was a parking garage and there was a door. You needed to put in the code to get the door to open, but, as it was, there were people in the city that would go that would walk in after the car had gone through, or vehicle. And just so happened that night that somebody was looking, and there was a spare key in my glove box. But my saving grace was I had a locked gas cap, and I had the key. There wasn't another key in the car. So they made it 45 minutes away, and because I had out of state license plates, it was really easy to find my vehicle. And, while the guy was trying to run away, he somehow, some way, they stole my bowling ball and they stole my Nirvana box CD collector's edition set, along with like 200 of my CDs that I had in one of those big book binder disc holder things. And yeah, they stole that. But the guy ended up going to jail, and I ended up getting paid back like $500 for it all. So, and I got my car back. So that was cool. But nonetheless, it was a big learning moment, to not ever go against what your gut is telling you. So, but yeah, I really think just like, when we're kids and, we want something really bad, and, we tell our parents, and they're like, well, if you do such and such, I'll meet you halfway, and then we can get that thing that you're looking to get, maybe a bike, maybe a whatever, video game console. But if we had incentive, a large incentive that we could, work towards, if we had something that we were working towards as a country, or as well, a nation, because every nation is going to have their own individual needs. But the reason I think we don't have this incentivization is, first of all, because it'd be really difficult, due to the immediate needs of the nation. But more than that, the bigger reason why we don't have that is because there's an agenda, and life is not just going to continue on in perpetuity of where, like it's the 1980s and it's going to, be like that forever. It doesn't work. So, not to mention it would be really mundane. Yet everyone is, just, howling at the moon because they want things to remain the same. But, that's where you get into this mindset of like, coping, and perpetuating the, I guess it would be kind of secularist, but at the same time too, I mean, yeah, I understand the underlying desire to want a wife and kids, and want things to remain copacetic and remain new, as they had been, for decades since after World War II. Why can't we just have peace, and why can't government just get out of the way, and on and on. But times change, things change. If you study economics, as I have for, well, over a decade, and then all the great channels that are out there, The Uneducated Economist is a really, really good, I believe, along with like The Rebel Capitalist, and just, yeah, there's all sorts. But you start to kind of get a better view of the bigger picture here, and that's that, the government wants more control. So it's not about maintaining this, farming, community, utopia, growing nation kind of thing. And sure, yeah, it's great for those that have kids and want to do that, you know. But I know, I'm sure the struggle is real. I see it. I guess nonetheless, you know, I have to see it from my perspective too. Is that, you know, where is the world going to be in 5 years? You know, I I don't think it's going to be in a good place. It'd be great if it were, but that's where, you know, you start to develop more of an appreciation for the Bible, for the Book of Revelation, for, you know, uh, just the awareness of, you know, the signs of the end times coming, you know, and you don't get really down about it because it's inevitable. So, I mean, if you think about it a little bit, you can see how the pieces all match up, and they fit together pretty well. And everything is really coming into lockstep here. Um, so maybe it's my age. Maybe it's the fact that I grew up as an only child in a single parent household with a mom that I didn't get along with. Maybe that has a lot to do with, you know, where I'm at the moment. I think it does. But regardless, um, you know, it should be an encouragement for those that don't have a significant other or kids, that, you know, it's just it's it's fake. This idea of the American dream and so on and so forth, you know, it's fake. You do what you can with what you got where you're at, sure. But if, you know, everything goes tits up and, you know, the economy implodes, you know, the option of going out into the woods is, you know, seeming it's okay to me, you know. I'll do that primitive lifestyle thing, you know. That'd be actually, to me, that would be more peace of mind than like $1 million. You know, just having those skills and having that confidence. Yeah, and I have wanted this since I was a teenager. I wanted to go out into the woods and just live off the land and, you know, do these things. But, you know, then it comes back to the, you know, society at large. Like, you know, trying to talk to people and be there for people and help others and, you know, talk about Jesus and stuff, you know. Yes, that is great. That is important. Yes, you know, but I, all this little bit of time that we have left before the beast system gets into effect. I mean, we're already in the beast system, but the mark of the beast comes along, you know. It's I mean, the ostracization ostracization of it is that's going to be a big hurdle for a lot of people, you know, getting cut off from the rest of society, you know, at large, with all the goodies that we have been given, you know, for so long. We have been uh, fattened like lambs to the slaughter, you know, or like cattle to the slaughter, I guess. And the more that we retract ourselves and work on the things that we need to do with the mindset that in the event of them implementing the mark of the beast, that we'll be able to um, figure things out in the woods, without having all the luxuries that we have in today's modern age. So I just wanted to do this video and just talk about that popped up in my mind, because there's always these connections, like what could be, what could have been, and what could have been sounds great, but it's not, and you just got to be aware of that. So yeah, figure out a plan, put it in action, and be ready when that mark of the beast thing comes about, because I don't think it's going to be long. Take care. Like and subscribe. Thank you for being here. Bye bye.